Let's go.
Let's do it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Manic Pixie Dream Ghouls. You are catching us both in the middle of a minty bee,
Yep.
which is a mental breakdown.
Woohoo.
I'm fresh out of serotonin,
Yep.
and I'm running on White Claw, and I'm going to put a new one in my Cryptid Claw koozie, original design by me. You can buy these at Cryptid Bag.
Yes.
These are event only, except for one pre-order that I'm doing because everyone asked me and I felt bad that some people couldn't make it. But not, they're event only. That's it. They're event only. Okay.
I'm being fueled by a Narragansett shandy.
That's like very what? That's very classy sounding.
Narragansett. No, it's cheap beer. It's like local PBR.
Ooh, okay. Well.
Yes.
I'll stick.
This is pretty good though. The shandy's pretty good. I will say it's mango passion fruit. Pretty tasty.
What kind of beverage do you think a little person of Irish lore would drink?
I don't know, probably like a swamp water shooter.
They would not do swamp water. I think they would brew their own ale in a little shoe.
Yeah, with swamp water.
A little acorn. Fine. I mean, I would try it.
Yeah.
I'd drink it.
If the Fae offered you a swamp water shooter, you're going to take it.
Way faster than I would drink hot cow's milk, like our hero from last week.
Disgusting.
I would much hate it. I hate it. I would much sooner drink. I mean, honestly, if the Fae offered me anything, I'd be like, yeah, sure. And they'd be like, well, shouldn't you be questioning it? And I'd be like, no, I don't fucking care. I don't. No. Do you think I give a shit? Come on.
Look at me. Of course I'm going to take this.
Look at my playlist. What's that? It's only Bo Burnham. Yeah. That's where I'm at. That's what point of minty bee I'm at.
Yep. I feel that spiritually.
Yep. It's a real problem. If he kills himself, I'm gonna really feel upset. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm very worried. I'm worried about his minty bees right now, but it's okay.
I think we're all collectively having a minty bee right now.
It's so true. I think we need to make minty bee shirts. It's my favorite. Okay. So tonight we're talking about little people, and we're covering two different types of little people. So I'll start with the Brownies, and this is my Brownies outline because I'm going to read it a little bit. Okay. So little people of folklore really intrigue me. Like, why does every culture have a little person myth, and what is it about them that captures everyone's imagination? One of my favorite things about one of my besties, Megan, who you've met, she's a little person and she loves to tell everyone that if she went to Ireland, she's legally a leprechaun and people would be scared of her, which only makes me want to take her to Ireland. So
yeah, let's fucking go.
People. She's my favorite.
So funny.
I love Meg. She's so fucking funny. But she's not a leprechaun. She does not have magic powers because she works at the same shitty job that I do. So if she does, I'm gonna be real fucking pissed off that she didn't tell me. I'm just putting that out there right now, Megan. Like, it's on sale. Okay. Anyways, these little guys, Brownies, are the little bebies of Scotland. So there's a little crossover between Ireland and Scotland, but these are more commonly a Scottish dude. So they come out at night while the owners of the house are sleeping to help out with household tasks, chores, and farm work. Aww. If you keep them happy, or if you want to keep them happy, you leave them a bowl of milk or cream.
Again, disgusting. Milk.
Again. Stop it.
No more milk, folks.
No more milk. Ireland, chill. God damn. Or Scotland. All of you chill.
All of Europe, stop drinking milk.
All of you chill. Humans aren't meant to digest it, okay? And that's something we all need to deal with. Okay. Brownie lore can be traced back to the Lares, Lares. I'm probably saying that wrong. Of ancient Rome, which is a similar domestic servant. However, Lares were more of a servant that gave you magical blessings, whereas Brownies do actual labor.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah.
Many people think of the Brownies as mischievous, and they are bleh. They probably just made my headphone fall out of my ear. That's okay. My ear fell out. The Brownies made my ears fall out.
Your ears?
My ear piece.
Your whole ear.
So many think my whole ear fell out. It's gone. I have
many
no ear,
think my whole ear fell out.
Many think my whole ear fell out. Hold on, let me drink some more.
Just became a clickbait YouTube video.
Surprise, 3 a.m. Stepsister. Jesus. Okay. Many think of brownies as mischievous, and they are blamed for playing pranks on lazy servants. That is not cool.
No.
That's what we call being a class traitor. Not cool.
We don't
All
stand.
servants should be lazy.
Yeah.
If you are not being paid appropriately, do not do any amount of work. Be fucking lazy.
Yes.
Like, nothing makes me happier than going to a restaurant and seeing how little of a shit the staff give, because I'm like, good for you. I'm still going to tip you 25%.
Oh, yeah.
Because fuck this place.
Yeah.
I like the food.
Like $1.50.
You're not getting paid. Yeah, you're not getting paid appropriately. Fuck it. You should sit there and smoke a cigarette. I don't care. Anyways, brownies are made to fucking chill. Yeah. So brownies and lares have a lot in common when it comes to behavior, origin, and appearance. They are devoted to the house and its members. Okay. They love offerings of dairy. I'm so upset about it. And they're hairy, dressed in rags, and heavily associated with the dead. Oh, which is weird.
That's very cute.
It's cute, but like Dobby from Harry Potter, I feel like is the closest thing we're having to a brownie, and I fucking hate him. So
yeah. Well, they wouldn't look like annoying. Dobby because they'd be hairy. No. So they'd look like little fuzzy, little like, what are those things in Star Wars called?
Ewok?
Yeah, little Ewoks.
Ooh, I don't like that
cute,
either.
Though. No, so precious. In little outfits, and they got like a duster, and they're dusting your house. So cute.
I don't think I'd like it. I mean, I want them to dust with their hair. If they're all hairy, why don't add another thing into it? I want them to just be using each other as mops and dusters.
They'd be like little Swiffer dusters.
There's one that they don't like, and they just
use it as a fucking duster. Okay, that's fucking
rude. Okay. So this is fucked, and I hate this part. Okay. The brownie is, in some legends, the ghost of a deceased servant who once worked in the home.
Boo.
So basically, after you toil away as a peasant and die, you become a nude, hairy, sometimes dressed in rags ghost to toil for all eternity.
No, thank you.
No, maybe for Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos is gonna spend eternity as a fucking piece of pavement that we all step on all day.
I want him to be the customer service, like, returns department in hell. That's what I want for him.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's never a manager around either. So he's on his own.
And he makes minimum wage, and he will be released when he makes as much money as he earned in life.
Wow.
Fuck you.
Wow. It's gonna be down there processing returns for a hot second.
It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a little while.
Yeah.
And I will be in line. Mm-hmm. No, I won't. I'm not going to go to hell.
Wait, but also, sorry to just derail and go on this path, but what if he continued to make money after death? So he just never catches up. He can never catch up.
Oh, that's so good. That's exactly what would happen to him. If there are trickster gods, that's what they're going to fucking do to him. Mm-hmm. Okay. I love it. Get on it, trickster gods.
Let's go, Loki.
So this... Please, God, I can't. I was about to say I've been having like a lot of Loki thoughts lately because it's we know that's a whole other thing. It's a whole other thing.
I see.
To get it together. I want a Loki alligator tattoo so burn.
Oh
okay.
Do it.
So this piece of lore fucking horrifies me because it goes into the idea, and we have to do a whole episode on radiant boys. Do you know about radiant boys?
No. Well, depends on what you mean by radiant boys.
This is my favorite thing. Okay. So a radiant boy is the glowing ghost of a boy who has been murdered by his mother.
That's very specific.
It's so specific, but it gets more specific than that. He is a harbinger of doom.
Cool.
So a radiant boy, seeing him foretells a violent death.
For you or someone else you know?
For you.
Oh.
He is always naked.
Oh.
Naked glowing boy. why is this a huge part of folklore? What the fuck?
I don't know. It's like my little baby mannequins,
Yeah, it's but
naked
like
and glowing.
creepy. I don't like it. So so the called lad of Hilton is a radiant boy who is reputed to be the ghost of a stable boy who was murdered by one of the lords of Hilton Castle in a fit of passion toward a boy.
Ew.
I fucking
Yucky.
pedophiles.
That's gross.
Those who saw him said he was a naked boy who would clean up anything untidy and but this is what's confusing. So he would clean up something that was untidy, but if you tidied something, he would mess it up. I don't fucking get it.
I don't understand that.
I don't get it.
Maybe he's being like, fuck you, you did a bad job.
Maybe.
Throws it.
Radiant boy. Maybe that's why his mom killed him.
Yeah. I'm tired of your fucking mind games, kid.
So brownies are always male.
Okay.
Except for one named Meg Mullock or Harry Meg.
Harry Meg. Okay.
I love Harry Meg. I stand Harry Meg.
Yeah,
Actually.
what an
like,
icon.
I'm kind of a fan. Yeah, like good for you. She broke the what is it called? What would it be? A glass ceiling? Or
yeah.
What was stuff made of? Dirt?
Straw.
Straw ceiling. She broke the straw ceiling.
Incredible.
With incredible.
She broke right through one of them fairy mounds.
Right through it.
Boom.
So they're ugly, frightening, and unsettling. Their skin is described as brown, but it's more from dirt than pigmentation, and they're covered in hair. So it's giving me a lot of Pukwudgie energy, which where's Tim Allen? He's
or
right
like
there. Oh, that's the baby one.
Tommy Knocker.
Yeah, it's like very, very similar to so many other little creatures.
Yeah.
First belch. They size wise kind of varies. So some people say they're human sized or larger. Some people say they're gnome sized. The later accounts tends to go toward gnome sized.
Okay.
It's very fucking scary if it's human sized.
Yeah, that sounds. Can you imagine?
I would.
You like
really
go to get
fucking scared if I saw
a glass
that.
of water and there's like it's like coming at you like this, but it's got like a duster in its hand and it's like fucking cleaning your windows.
It's Carrot Top again.
No.
Yeah.
It can never be Carrot Top again.
Every piece of Irish lore is Carrot Top. And I'm sorry for that, but it is.
Carrot Top just keeps being reborn as like a different piece of Irish lore.
That's his hell.
Yeah, he's in purgatory.
Some Scottish accounts say that they're short and fat, like rotund, which is very similar to 17th century Scottish depictions of the devil.
Okay.
In two different Scottish witchcraft confessions, one in 1649 and one in 1680, both describe meetings with a thick little man.
Thick little man. Wow.
So I wrote on my notes, so the devil was dummy thick. A little butt and it's
caked up.
Yes. God, he had them cakes. Hold on, my camera's like, I don't know what to do. There it goes. Okay. Brownies of the Scottish. I wrote this like a long time ago and I can't remember writing this. Brownies of the Scottish lowlands look like, and I wrote this, one of those Michael Jackson monkeys. Have you seen the monkeys that don't have the nose? And they look like Michael Jackson after plastic surgery?
The snub nose one?
No, it's like nothing's there. It's like
I think I know what you're talking about. And they're like orange and their face is white. Mm-hmm. That is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And I need to send you the very out of pocket meme that I have with that monkey.
So that's your brownie. That's what yours would look like.
Incredible.
Duster
I'm so fucking glad.
Outfit.
So cute. That'd be so cute.
Would be pretty cute.
I welcome it.
That they have no nose, just a hole in their face. But then one thing says they have no fingers or toes.
Excuse me?
But how the fuck are they working then? How are they working with no fingers or toes? That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, how do you balance like that?
Like, I mean, I think I could probably balance with no toes, but I couldn't manage no fingers. Like, watch me try to brush my hair. Wait, I picked it up already. Hold on. Okay, the brush is already here. Like, that is not it.
Yeah.
How would you do anything?
Well, maybe that's why they're so disheveled in appearance.
But then, like, how are they doing chores?
I don't know. Magic?
I guess.
That's all I can think.
Brownies can turn into animals or become invisible, but they don't really need to become invisible because they're good at like sneaking around and hiding.
Oh, good for them.
So I have some ways to piss off a brownie.
It doesn't sound like something you'd want to do.
Absolutely not.
I will listen.
Unlike what happens in Harry Potter, if you give it clothes, it's fucking pissed. It's gonna leave.
What?
If you give it clothes, it gets really
even
bad.
in like a respectful way, even if you're like, hey, my 5-year-old is tired of seeing your weird hairy gremlin body all the time. It's kind of I'm not body shaming, but I just like, can you imagine if your child was like, hey, the weird gremlin is in my room again and it's naked?
Is out. Yeah. Imagine if your house is like really dusty and its penis just like drags along. Like that's so gross. Forgetting to give it offerings of cream and milk. This one fine, whatever. But the next one, I agree with. Trying to baptize it. It will fucking
That's fair.
Leave.
I would lose my shit if someone was forcefully trying to baptize me as well.
Yeah. I saw a mobile baptism like semi truck when we were driving out to the eastern shore of Maryland, and I was like, so they just literally weird. Probably kidnap people and drop them in whatever shitty hot tub is in that thing. Like that's disgusting. No,
that sounds bad.
Also, how the fuck are you going to baptize a brownie? What are you going to do?
I don't know.
How do you catch
it? How do you baptize a member of the Fae? You just don't.
You have to be really.
How do you baptize the aliens too? Probably not.
Travis Walton probably tried to.
Ugh, I bet David Huggins did too. I bet.
No, David Huggins would never. He would never.
I don't know.
All he wants to do is fuck aliens and suck on that one on Crescent.
That one today.
God, I love him so much. I want to meet him. One of my goals is to meet him. If he's at CryptidCon, holy shit. Because I kind of look like Crescent. Like what?
You do kind of look like Crescent. You have like a very gray alien shaped face, and I mean that with as much respect as I can possibly give you.
I absolutely know that I do. It's because part of the alien human hybrid program is getting people used to the idea of people who are kind of Asian looking, but you can't really place it, which is literally me. And I'm pretty sure I'm an alien human hybrid.
Yeah.
And if they could bring me like this much serotonin, I'd be really fucking pleased. Thank you.
I think you gotta fill like a request form or something and send it back to the mothership.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so criticizing the brownies' work also makes it mad.
Also fair. That makes sense.
Fair enough. I'd be mad too. I'd be like, fuck you, dude. Like I've been up all night. Like
I just cleaned your whole fucking house for you and you're not happy, Todd?
Wow. Todd, you don't have a bed frame, Todd?
Todd?
How long has it been since you had a woman over, Todd? I got Harry Meg over here.
Yeah, honestly.
You know, like who are you?
She's the only one. The only woman.
The only woman, and I'm hitting it, Todd. And what are you doing?
Criticizing my cleaning.
Criticizing
Todd.
my fucking work. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think the fuck not.
I think the fuck not. Giving a brownie a name also makes it very mad.
Oh, that one I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, I know. It makes me sad. So then there's also calling for it to come drink the cream instead of letting it find the cream itself.
Okay.
Which I can kind of see. Like if you put it out and you talk to it like it's a pet, you're like, oh, come here, brownie. Like,
yeah.
That's rude.
It might be like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, they wreck your shit and they will leave your home immediately. Fair enough. So no vegans have brownies in their home because we are not leaving cream out.
Well, if I had a house elf that was cleaning my house, I would buy cream to leave it out. I absolutely would.
Too. I would actually probably buy a whole cow to milk it, and like I'd be really nice to the cow. The cow would sleep in my bed. Like
some hot cow's milk for the brownie. You set that one up, Sarah.
I would though. I would do a hot cow's milk.
Well, if that's what it demands.
It is. It's fine. So supposedly brownies get hella pissed by giving them clothes because it's like very insulting to them.
Oh.
I don't know why it is, but it is. So something very cool that I actually have in my house is a brownie seat, which is where the pot hook that you use to hang pots over the fire in your, I don't know how to say this word, it's either hearth or hearth, like that big fireplace thingy. So if the pot hook has a little like crook in it, an extra crook. That's called the brownie seat. So that's like for them to sit on and like warm
Oh,
themselves or whatever.
that's really
And it's really
precious.
cute. And that's why they have those extra little crooks. And if your home didn't have one, you would hang an upside down horseshoe to give it a little seat because they like to like sit on it, swing above
Oh,
the fire, get warm. And
that's
neat.
really cute.
It's very cute. I would be if I saw a little brownie on there, I'd be like, White Claw. I would give him White Claw for sure.
Yeah,
But like
I feel like
probably-
they would probably prefer it to warm milk.
yeah, like I would leave it out, but I wouldn't say anything. I would call it. I would just be like,
If you'd like to try it,
I wouldn't even acknowledge. I would just be like,
just put out like a shot.
I'm lying. I have
Next to
no
the
chill.
milk.
I'd grab it. I'd grab it and squeeze it. I have absolutely
Yeah,
no
you
chill.
would. Yeah, you
There's
absolutely
no
would.
fucking chance. There's no.
That's probably why you don't have a brownie in your house.
It's absolutely why. It's why
They
the ghosts
know.
won't talk to me either. They fucking know. They're like,
They
she
know.
will not calm down.
Like,
She
this
won't
one's got
calm
no
down.
chill. We can't
She'll
show
put us on
ourselves to her.
Snapchat or something. Like we fucking can't, dude. Like she needs to calm down. Like it's really embarrassing. It's fine. You saw the embarrassing Wild West photos I made my children do.
They're precious.
Wonderful.
They were
The
very cute.
ghost would do the same thing. I'd be like, can you change your fucking ghost clothes? And can
Like,
you
let's
can
go.
you stand next to each other like you like each other? Thank you.
Yeah. You're gonna mom
What if-
voice the ghosts.
One of them's like, I'm from the 1700s and that one's from the 1950s. And I'm like, do I give a shit?
Does it look like I care?
Get in the picture. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna. Brownies and other household spirits differ significantly from other fairies in folklore. Brownies are said to dwell alongside humans in houses, barns, and on farms, whereas fairies go out to remote wilderness, which good for them. Brownies are typically harmless. Some lore has them as dark and dangerous, but fairies are almost always considered dark and dangerous.
Yeah.
Brownies live in solitude. It's like one brownie per house, except when that
Aw.
one's fucking hairy Meg.
Yeah.
And fairies tend to live in large groups, you know, doing the dancing and all the
Oh,
murdering and stuff.
good for them.
So there's a note that says brownies are frequently associated with the dead, much like the banshee. So
Okay.
good for them. There's a good case that brownies could be classified as ghosts, but many folklorists reject this idea because the brownie has, quote, an adaptability, individuality, and homely tang, which forbids one to think of him as merely a lingering and reminiscent image.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
they're more corporeal, I guess. It's a
Yeah.
fancy way of saying that. In 17th century Scotland, brownies were regarded as a demon, which is rude.
Yeah, that is rude. They come in here and clean your house and you're gonna call them a demon and
Like, why are
leave
you
Zach
mad?
Baggins
Like-
on them?
They would tote Zach back. If he saw a brownie, he would fight it. He would kick it or hurt it.
I think the brownie would win though.
Oh, absolutely. Because that's the whole thing is that like he talks so much shit, but as soon as something squares up, he's out.
Yeah.
He's
I watched an
fucking out.
episode today. I was just zoning out. Had to put some background music on while I played The
Mhm.
Sims. So I chose Ghost Adventures. It was the first thing that came up. And this man goes in. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna antagonize this demon. I'm gonna do it." He's like, "I'm gonna make it talk to me." And then it scratches him or whatever, and he's like freaking the fuck out. And I'm like, "What did you think was gonna happen?
What did you think?
You
was
went
gonna
in there being
happen?
so rude.
right.
Like, you should be surprised. You should be glad they only scratched you.
like, you
because
should
if
be
it were
glad they don't
me,
possess you.
I would have thrown you down the stairs, homie.
I would.
Don't be
I'd do that as
rude.
a human. He's
Yeah.
so goddamn disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
So some folklore and or I guess cultural analysis of brownies. There is a folklorist named L.F. Newman, and he says that the brownie fits into the idea of the old generous rural economy of pre-industrial Britain,
Okay.
describing the brownie as the epitome of what a good household servant of the era was supposed to be. Belief in brownies was exploited by both masters and servants. The servants could blame the brownie for messes, breakages, and strange noises at night, while the
Okay.
masters of the house who employed them could use stories of the brownie, this fucking sucks, to convince their servants to behave by telling them that the brownie would punish servants who were idle and reward those who performed their duties vigilantly. Not fucking
Yeah, fucking
cool.
right. A brownie would never.
Well, that's the thing is that they do get this reputation of fucking with lazy servants, which I said like in class trader, like,
Yeah.
you know. So I don't like using that they're using that lore to like scare people, especially
Yeah.
people who didn't have the chance to become as educated as they were. Like that
Yeah.
fucking sucks. And I'm not here for it. So I like to think the brownie was definitely like not a class traitor.
Oh,
And the
absolutely
brownie
not.
would not do that to people.
There is like not,
please.
in my opinion, and this might change based on what we learn more of, but I don't think that there are many class traders in folklore, just in general. I just don't think,
I would hope not.
I don't think that's really a common trend in folklore.
I would hope not. Brownies are not giving me a whole lot of hope, though, for being quite honest. So Susan Stewart, another folklorist who studies British and whatever white people folklore, white people stories,
Nice.
says that brownies resolve the problem that human storytellers faced of the unending repetition and futility of labor. As immortal spirits, brownies could not be worn out or revitalize their working, so their work became seen as part of a perpetual cycle akin to the activities of nature herself. That makes me sad for the brownies.
Yeah, that's fucked.
That's fucking sad. So my hot take at the end of this was that I think brownies might be class traders, but only because folklore discusses them and writes them that way, and that folklore was written by the upper class, not people who might have been experiencing this.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep their servants in line, and that really sucks for a lot of folklore in general, is how much of it you don't get to see that point of view. Like that really sucks. But my number one hot take was that I hope Jeff Bezos has brownies and I hope they eat him.
Ooh.
That's all. That is all.
What if, okay, I'm not gonna go there right now. That's okay. I'll FaceTime you later and tell you my thought. So I have a very minimal amount of research that I did because I was incredibly high when I was trying to write this, and
TV.
We're gonna try and figure out what I was thinking of in my notes. But I'm gonna talk about leprechauns, the classic like Irish guy mascot, the leprechaun.
They're just vibing. I love.
They're just vibing, yeah. They just chill. They chill so hard.
If I make like a ton of money in my travel nursing gig, I want to take you and Megan to Ireland with me.
Yep.
So that we can be banshees and Meg can be her, like, do her leprechaun fantasy.
That would be very fun, and I would love to do that.
Fun. Oh my god.
All right, so leprechauns. Obviously, they, going with the theme, they are part of the Fae family. And much like brownies, leprechauns are also always men, except there are no examples of woman leprechauns, which is interesting because it poses the question of how do they reproduce.
Question.
Yes.
I don't watch a lot of scary movies, so I'm probably mixing this up. Doesn't Leprechaun get a leprechaun wife in those movies? I also have a mouthful of taffy.
I don't know.
I'm mixing up with Chucky.
I don't know because I've never actually seen that movie because I don't really like horror movies.
Okay.
But if he did have a leprechaun wife, whoever wrote it was full of shit.
True
because because there just are not any woman leprechauns in the truest of origins of the leprechaun.
Or could it be that leprechauns don't believe in gender, so they all look however the fuck they want, and they tend to present as male to avoid being captured?
I like where you're going with that. But I do not have an answer to that.
Okay, let's keep even my taffy then.
Yeah, you enjoy your taffy. So leprechauns live in caves. I don't know if you knew that. I just assumed.
What?
Yeah, so they live in caves. I just assumed that they lived in bushes.
I thought they lived in like a little hole that went down into like a magic kingdom.
No, so that's where you would find them probably working. But they live in little caves. And I guess like to a leprechaun that's like kind of tiny, like some tree roots, like that area under a tree root would be a cave. So like
that's what I thought they lived in, like the Keebler elves.
Yeah, so they well, we'll get to that part, but no, they live in like caves, like rocky caves, a lot of the times near water, because they're like loosely linked to water spirits, which is interesting. Yeah, the word leprechaun actually comes from like the Gaelic word. I'm gonna try and say this and do my best. Lucrepon, I believe it's Luchorpan, and the A has the little thingy on it, which were water spirits.
The little
Yes.
little dash. Okay.
Yes. So the Lukerpon were water spirits, and that word, when you roughly translate that back to English, means small body. So that's kind of like how we got leprechauns. With this like small-bodied water spirit, and it's funny because you don't think of leprechauns as being a water spirit, but that's
I
her.
never ever would associate them with water. Ever,
Yeah.
not once.
Yeah,
That's
well,
fucking wild.
I don't know. It's crazy, but I like it. And also I just want to share with you that the origin of how we got leprechauns is that a water spirit fucked a house goblin and made a leprechaun.
Like a brownie?
Yeah, like a brownie.
Wait. So the water spirit had to be the I don't know, they can reproduce magic, I don't fucking know.
Yeah. They be fucking.
I mean, a water spirit would definitely have a wop, that's for fucking sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Good for you, brownies.
Yeah.
Get it.
Exactly. So they merged with the water spirit to create what we know as leprechauns.
So cute.
And going back to the leprechaun description, we all know they're kind of tiny. We've seen
So cute.
the Disney movie Luck of the Irish. Well, actually, I think that one's like big, right?
Oh, he's a Luck of the Irish is a boy that's like human size, and he finds out his family has some.
Yeah, that's right.
And he plays basketball for some reason.
Yeah, that's the most Irish thing you could possibly do is play basketball.
What a dumb fucking
the
movie.
fucking joke, sorry. But they're tiny. They're like, 2 to 3 feet tall, little goblins, little weird man goblins, with ginger hair, the classic ginger hair, and the long beard.
Carrot top.
Kind of. I don't know what their like hair looks like because they always wear their little hats, So I'm like,
they wear hats in the folklore too.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like the top hats,
not as dramatic, but like a little, not a gnome hat either, like just a cap.
Not a kippa either.
What is that?
Like a yarmulke. It's not.
Okay.
Either. It's not like a little. It's not here. It's not a skull cap. It's not a top hat. It's like somewhere.
It's like somewhere in between a top hat and like a top hat. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah. I thought we were getting anti-Semitic, and I was getting real stressed out.
No, I would never.
Good.
Never.
Well, I mean, I'll yell about how fucked it is, but anyways, go on.
True. I don't know like what their actual like hair on their head is supposed to be like, but like we all know they have the ginger beards and like, so that's something. There you go. But I'm trying to read my notes, and honestly, like I said, I was very high when I was doing my research, and most of this doesn't make any sense, so I'm trying to piece it back together now.
Excited about it though.
Yeah. This is what I was gonna say. So originally, leprechauns were not dressed in green. They were originally dressed in red. But
red?
Yes, in red.
I thought you were gonna say brown. Shut the fuck up. Why are they wearing red?
I don't know, but I think because of the way that they became associated with money and wealth, and because green is so commonly associated with money and wealth, that they just got merged together because they originally didn't wear green. So it's like funny that like we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but like, and we're like, oh, the luck of the Irish, everything's green, the 4-leaf clover. But it's like they actually wore red.
All right, you fuckers. We're all wearing red this St. Patrick's Day. We are getting our shit together when it comes to folklore. We're all wearing red. And if anyone's wearing green, they get stabbed. Because then they'll be wearing red.
It's like, that's so excessive.
I'm sorry for the stabbing.
Yeah, Sarah's not going to stab anyone. I won't let her.
I have a list.
Okay.
Well, but it's related to St. Patrick's Day.
I claim no part in that. Just going to make that clear. So leprechauns were commonly known as cobblers, shoemakers. That was like their whole role in like the Fae world was to make the shoes for all the fellow little Fae members, which is so precious. But that's how they ended up getting so rich. because everybody needed shoes.
Oh no! Wait, hold on. My internet got fucked up. That's how they ended up getting what?
How they got rich.
Oh, wait. So the Fae paid them? It wasn't like a eternal labor task?
No, so they would get paid to cobble shoes. Oh, I just dropped my notebook.
Okay, you're like a lot younger than me, so I'm gonna have to ask you this before I make this joke. Have you ever seen the show Married with Children?
I haven't seen it, but I have heard of it.
Okay, it's gross, and I'm gonna stop the joke now. But basically, the gross dad is a shoe salesman, and I'm like trying to imagine him as a leprechaun. It's gross. Forget it,
Okay.
everybody. Kenzie is like 15 years younger than me. The end.
I'm like 10 years younger than you. You tack on another half a decade.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fair.
Go on.
Okay. Well, they're shoe cobblers. So that's why, like, that's how they ended up getting so wealthy, is they hoard their gold, which is fair. That's
Good for them.
yeah,
Fuck
do what you will. You worked hard for that money.
Yeah.
But they got paid
Making
to fix
investments.
exactly fix all the shoes. And in their lore, it said that the only purpose that the gold really serves for leprechauns is like a way to fuck with humans. Because they don't need to spend the gold. They don't. Well, the thing is like, what the fuck are they gonna buy?
That's what I was kind of wondering. Like, what is the economy of the
Yeah.
fairy the world, the goblin realm? Like, what the fuck are y'all buying?
Yeah, and I think realistically, like, they start to get to that point. We've got like leprechauns really kind of just being like an old-timey Jeff Bezos kind of, where like they've got all this hoarded wealth.
And this is where I'm just like very uncomfortable, and I feel like we're gonna get anti-Semitic, and it's not, and I'm glad about it. Like, I'm glad it's not, but I'm just like, I'm watching you. I'm watching you, Ireland.
Yes. Well, I promise that this did not get anti-Semitic, so do not worry.
Okay, good. Good.
So basically, like, they hoard all this wealth, and the only purpose that they use it for is to mess with humans. Because it said that if you capture a leprechaun, it'll grant you 3 wishes. And the easiest way to find a leprechaun is to follow the rainbow to its pot of gold. And that leprechaun would be connected with that pot of gold. So finding it would bring you that leprechaun. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, but then are the 3 wishes like tricky wishes? Like you wish and then it's like, but then
yes,
is it like that? Oh,
basically, yeah. So like,
okay,
think of like, there was like a car insurance commercial at one point that like had like a whole thing that was like granting wishes, but it was like the very literal sense of the wish. And like, that's essentially what leprechauns would be doing. Like, if you wished for $1 million, they would give you 1 million deer. Like that kind of shit.
Joke's on you, fucking stupid.
I know, right? It's like, that actually was exactly what I wanted.
I'd be so happy.
But that kind of thing, where like they would basically lure people to this point, people who were, greedy for magical leprechaun money and shit, lure them there with promises of wishes and fortune, and basically just be like, fuck you.
Stupid. I need to stop eating this taffy, dude. I just got diabetes. I'm stopping now. I'm stopping now.
No more.
I'm choking.
I also, I'm at the end of my list of research points. But the last thing that I did write was, under European law, leprechauns are a protected species.
Oh, it's kind of like how Iceland protects the Hilder folk. I love that.
Yeah, it's very precious. That's nice.
I stand that. I'm down with that.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, like, how many leprechauns people are claiming to see every year to keep them on the protected species list.
I mean, I think it's more like, okay, I've been to the Leprechaun Museum in Ireland. It's fucking sick. They have like giant chairs that you get on so you can be leprechaun size. But I was a little annoyed because they changed this one story I know the story already. And it was about a guy who makes this wish. I don't know the whole thing anymore because obviously I'm like 4 weight loss in right now. Anyway, he makes a wish. Da, 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 da. His wife gets turned into a cow because he fucked up the wish, and then he eats his wife.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I know what you're
You know
talking
what I'm
about.
talking about?
Yeah, we talked about this like recently. I'm pretty sure.
Talked about this before. It's something that bothers me. But then they like changed it because my child was there, and I was like,
Mhm.
do you think someone with the kind of bangs that I have is sheltering their child from fucked up fairy tales?
He's like, no way, no how.
Sir,
My
sir,
child
look at
knows
me.
that
He
man ate his
fucking
wife.
knows, okay? He
He knows.
knows. So anyway, I've been there. I've also been to the Icelandic elf school where I learned about the Hilderfolk, and I touched a pot that came from their realm.
Oh,
It was
wow.
really fucking cool. It was
That's
really
sick.
cool. So I think it might be like a respect thing to consider them a protected group because
Yeah.
like it's such a big part of that lore. Like you don't want to piss them off.
Yeah. I really think
And
I
I'm
wonder
very
if
happy
it
about
if it
that.
extends to all Fae folk or if it's like just
It fucking
leprechauns.
should.
I
It
know that's
fucking
what I'm
should.
thinking is like
Oh
if it's
my
a
God.
respect thing, like you should probably include every
Every
species
member
of
of the
Fae.
Fae.
Every single member of the
Yeah.
Fae should be included in that, or you're gonna
I
get
would
bugged.
absolutely never want to piss them off. Ever.
Mm-mm.
100% no. I do nothing but respect them because I don't understand their power and I would like them to not like mess with me. Like no.
And that is why we leave offerings outside on my back porch every month.
Yep. Because you got to.
Yep.
You got to. Even if we have become a Morrigan Stan account and she is protecting us, we still want to be careful because she's a member of the Fae.
Exactly. And we want to leave some stuff out for her as well.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be my new deity that I'm working with, if we're being quite honest, because I'm a big fan of hers.
She's sick. She's very cool.
She's so good. I'm really loving the Irish folklore. I'm really loving the ties to like how it's become different stuff in different places and how it plays into culture. And like I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I agree.
I know that pretty soon here we're gonna do mermaids, which is one of my most favorite things in the whole world. And I'm very excited for that. I think that's gonna be next time. Actually, we should do it while we're together.
Yes.
We can have like a mermaid look. So that'll be our next thing that we're gonna talk about. We'll talk about my favorite, the only, I guess all saints in Catholicism are magical, but there's a mermaid saint named Liban, and I
I love her.
I love her. So we're gonna have a whole thing about that. We're gonna be like dressed up as mermaids. It's gonna be awesome.
I love mermaids.
But most importantly, guys, August 7th in Morgantown.
Just a couple days. By the time this airs, it'll be just a few days away.
You can get one of these cryptid claw koozies. You can meet us.
Yep.
You can participate in the Cryptid Olympics, which I still need to get a giant pair of white pants for. And yeah, it's gonna be fucking sick. Like we have a lot of really beautiful merch we're gonna have. Getting to see us in person is just a joy for everyone.
Truthfully, it is.
It really is.
We may be biased, but I feel like I can assure you all that it is a wonderful time to be in the same room as me and Sarah.
Yes, and I 100% guarantee that Travis Walton won't show his fucking face. I think he might have gotten
hypothetically, if he decided he was feeling bold, say he woke up and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking go. What would you do? What would you actually do?
So much. I will go up to him and I will find, because I'm really good having like grown up in the South around a lot of really fucking mean girls. And being like in like cheerleading and stuff, even though I was not a mean girl myself, I know how to do it. So I will find the thing he's most insecure about, which I think is his hair because he dyes it this horrific shade of red. And I'll fucking just dig into it and I'll make him so upset and I'll give him an eating disorder. And I think that's what'll happen.
Wow.
I only use my powers for good. That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Well,
fucking Travis Walton. Yeah, I'll fuck him up.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That was so much. I'm also when you're here, we need to go through my attic to find my alien mask.
Yes.
Yes. Really scary, very realistic latex fucking alien mask, and we're gonna need it for reasons. So guys, come to Cryptid Bash.
It's
donate
free.
To our merch fundraiser. It's free.
It's literally free. It costs $0 to come hang out with me and Sarah for 7 hours.
And that is kicking off the first of our events where we will be yelling about things. We're also going to be at Flatwoods Monster Fest. We're going to be at a few other things, but our like grand finale, of course, is going to be Cryptid Con. So I hope that you guys will be out and about, and we will see you at some events. And please donate to our merch fundraiser, because we've got the merch mostly, but now we're kind of like, Kenzie needs to like get down here and not die. So
yes, gotta take my 10-hour drive.
Yes, we're off MetaZoo cards this week. Please donate some cash so you can win them.
Very fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay,
bye.